Here's how to hardwire and install a dash cam inside of a 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. For this guide, you're gonna need a hardwire kit, an SD card, a crimp tool, and obviously your dash cam. For any other 11th gen Civic, just make sure you know what's a constant and what's an accessory fuse. Personally, I don't like to see my dash cam while I'm driving, so instead of putting it around this area, I'm gonna be throwing it on the other side, around right here. Before that, let's go ahead and grab our hardwire kit and think about how we're going to be doing this. Here's what my hardwire kit actually looks like. The yellow is accessory, the red is battery, which is constant, and then the black is obviously your ground. For the red and yellow wire, we're going to be crimping it into one of these connectors. You can see that there's the blue end where we're going to be putting the wire and then crimping it from right there in the middle. Stepping out the car, we're going to go ahead and get down here. What we're going to be doing is popping this plastic panel off so that we can easily get to the fuse box and so that we can properly zip tie and run our cable in here. Popping this guy off is simple enough. Just go ahead and get right behind where there's a few inches of space behind the steering wheel and just pull a little bit while going down at the same time. And you'll see, boom, already popped one clip. There's 2, 3, 4. There we go. Looks like there's one more back here. You can see now we can easily access the fuse box, which is located right under there. Those colorful boxes are our fuses back there. We're gonna be tapping into them into our handy dandy little adapter that we have here. And then we're gonna zip tie it somewhere in here so that we can properly run the wire. Here's the ground that we're gonna be using in this video. What you're gonna do is untighten it, peel back this plastic a little bit, just go ahead and press up against it, pull a little bit, and insert the actual ground piece itself right behind that plastic, just so that it makes enough contact with the metal right here that acts as our ground. Then go ahead and tighten the screw back, and there you go, there's your ground all set. Once you have your actual ground wire set, go ahead and grab your fuse tap itself and crimp it to the according wire. In this case, here's the accessory, crimped accordingly. It doesn't matter which one you go ahead and crimp it to, just make sure that both the battery and accessory are properly crimped. Same thing for my battery right here, which acts as a constant. Boom, you can see it's crimped right here. And what we're gonna do is go ahead and move to the fuse box. Now that we're below looking at the fuse box, we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna identify 2 fuses right here, okay? First one being right here, second one being right here. All you're gonna do, grab your battery, which is your constant, go ahead and plug it into that first one that I pointed out, facing upwards. That's very important. Make sure that your fuse is facing upwards. So you see this orange thing, make sure it's up. Go ahead, plug it into that top one, that very first one. Very simple. Boom, there we go. As you can see, plugged in. And then do the same exact thing for the second one, which is your accessory. So boom, here's the second one, accessory with the yellow on the end. I'm gonna move this wire a little bit so that you guys can see that a little bit easier. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and push that in. And boom, now we should be able to go test the dash cam and see if it works. So I have the actual car off right now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. Now that I have it on, I'm gonna grab my USB-C cable. I'm gonna grab my dash cam. I'm gonna plug in the 2. Boom, you immediately see that red light come on. You should see a logo pop up. There we go, Viofo. So let's go ahead and unplug it for right now. Now that we know the dash cam actually works, we have to go ahead and actually try and wire manage this whole thing. It isn't gonna be too hard. All we're gonna do is just get on in here, bundle up the wires to the actual controller itself that you see right there. And then we're gonna zip tie everything and kind of nudge it in somewhere. There's a good bit of styrofoam right here that would be really good to put the actual controller on to prevent any rattles. So I'm gonna go ahead and bundle up this wire, wrap it around that controller, zip tie the whole thing and put it right here. Also, I have mine set on 12 volts. I'm not a big fan of having it drain all the way down to the 11.8 volts. I've had a car die from that. So I'm keeping mine on 12.4 volts for the parking mode. It's not gonna look very pretty, I can't lie to you, but at the same time, it's what's necessary so that we can just easily get everything on in here without any wires bundling up. Zip tie this absolute mess. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead, stuff it in that upper region I was just talking about. Boom, very nice, fits in very easily. And then this will be covered by the panel right here. And then here's our actual wire itself. What we're gonna do is go ahead and get it right into this and then get it into this weather flap right here. But first, let's go ahead and pop this panel back on. Popping the panel on should be simple enough. Just make sure you have your actual wire coming out right here so you can run it up through the weather strip. Insert the clips like usual, and just go ahead and plug both of those plugs back in. Line up those clips like we talked about. 3, 4, and I think that is it. So go ahead, pull back the weather seal a little bit. Boom, there you go. Here's what I mean by running the wire inside of the strip. there's where the wire was, and you can see I've ran it up the strip. I have it right here right now, and we're gonna go ahead and get to the points where we're right above that airbag that connects right here. As you can see, I kind of just brought it up right here, and I've just tucked it right behind this plastic right here, and then it'll come through the headliner. I'm gonna have it go around this piece right here up until this point. Here I have my wire that I ran around that plastic trim above the headliner, and then it comes out right here. Now, congratulations. If you want, you can just go ahead and put your dash cam right there. But if you're anything like me, you're gonna wanna put it over on this side. So I brought that wire along here like we talked about, and then I kind of have it hanging out a little bit right here. I'm gonna try cleaning it up the best that I can. But then I tucked it under this trim right here. I'm gonna have it go all the way around. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my SD card inside of my dash cam so that we can turn it on and get a preview of what it's gonna look like whenever it's sitting wherever we'd like to put it. So I have the dash cam all plugged in right here. I'm gonna go ahead and press the power button so that I can get kind of a preview. Whoa, check out the camera. So I'm gonna be putting it to where I can't see it around right here. So as you can see, I'm driving. I can't see the dash cam screen. It's not distracting me. If I move over here, it's kind of in this general area, kind of lines up where the mirror starts, and that's where I'm gonna be putting my dash cam. So I now have the dash cam all hidden from the driver, and all that's left is to hide this excess wire that I have hanging out. Make sure that you actually leave it powered on top. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that right now. As you can see, it's almost nighttime now. I've been trying to record this video for almost 2 hours, but look at that dash cam install. Woo, sheesh. I mean, all you can see is the wire that comes out right here, and it's the same thing on the other side, but otherwise it is completely hidden going around the lights right here. You can see the dash cam looks all clean. The excess wire was hidden into the headliner right here. All you gotta do is open it a little bit, especially that little bulby part that's on the end of the wire is also hidden into that part right here. The dash cam works, the parking mode works. This video applies mainly to the 2025 Honda Civics, but it also works for any 11th gen Civics if you're looking for the actual physical install itself. As far as the fuse locations go, I'm not sure. Just make sure to research for your proper car. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.